beginning of day 5. There was a severe thunderstorm warning last night, where they rang an alarm through the camp. So I buttoned everything up, put extra lines on the guy lines on the tent, and they were predicting winds of 70-75 miles an hour with the thunderstorms. So I moved my bike over next to one of the buildings under the underhang to try to protect it from the wind so it didn't get knocked over. But it was much ado about nothing. The winds maybe got 25-30 miles an hour, but that was about it. Lots of rain all through the night. Didn't stop until early this morning and dropped down to the low 40s. So it's Thursday. I'm headed towards where President Lincoln was born, and his homestead. There's some national park there. And then I hope to go to Mammoth Caves, which is a national park, and visit the caves this afternoon. It's reservation only, I believe. And so got to see whether I can get in to one of the tours. They have a whole series of different tours that you can take, and I've got to figure that out this afternoon. And then I hope to actually stay at the adjoining campground. They've got some tent-only sites that I hope to stay at. But as you can see, the skies are clearing and the ground is drying out. Still pretty chilly, but hopefully it'll get up to more reasonable temperatures this afternoon as predicted. And this is Highway 418, which is a scenic byway in Kentucky. It's very pretty. When I visualize Kentucky in my head, even though I've only been in the state a couple times, this is what I envision is Kentucky: rolling hills, trees, green grass, pastures, and curvy roads. It's a very pretty state. The navigator is taking me into downtown Lexington before I head to the southwest. Courthouse Square. I'm going west on Martha Lane Collins Bluegrass Parkway. Slight detour from the Lincoln birthplace is a Shaker Village that's fairly close by. So I got off the highway and headed there. I'm not sure the name of the town. It's just showing on my GPS is Shaker Village, so don't really know much about it other than it's a site that people recommend visiting while in Kentucky. Does this look like Kentucky or what? Horse farms, green grass. Communal living. The men lived on one side of the building, the women lived on the other side. Mercer County. This is Harrodsburg. About 10 minutes away from the Shaker Village. Shaker Village was nice. It's an interesting group of people that lived there for about 100 years. They didn't believe in having children, so eventually they, I think, just went out of existence as they aged. Their furniture is exquisite and their architecture was nice on the homes. Communal living. No private property, it was all communal property. An interesting place to visit. Apparently only a fraction of the buildings, even though there seemed like there were quite a few, only a fraction of the buildings that were actually in the village still survive today. This is Route 68 heading southwest to Lincoln's boyhood home and his birthplace. I still have a little over an hour to go to get there. So the afternoon of my 5th day, and I broke 1,000 miles on this trip. Still have probably 1,700 miles to make my destination in Nevada, at least by GPS using highways. It's probably going to be longer than that, and the odometer on these bikes tend to run a little high, just as the speedometer does. This is Lebanon, Kentucky. Coming into town, they had a big factory for cooperage. You could smell the wood quite a ways away for the Kentucky bourbon. I'm now on the Lincoln Heritage Scenic Byway, about 3.3 miles from my destination. Absolutely gorgeous day. Still a little on the chilly side, 62 degrees Fahrenheit, not a cloud in the sky. Lincoln's boyhood home. Lincoln Birthplace is 9 miles from here. So that was Lincoln's boyhood home. I think it's a recreation, but certainly on the spot where the original house was. And now I'm heading down to his birthplace, which is a National Historic Park. National Historical Park. Headed to Mammoth Cave National Park. The website indicates that the park is open 24 hours a day. I don't know whether that means that the caves are open 24 hours a day, but I'm going to try to do a quick trip there before I head to my campsite. My campsite's within the national park, but it's about 20 minutes away from where the headquarters building is and where I presume the cave entrances are. Must have changed time zones. The clock just flipped on my GPS to 2:37, so I gained an hour. Thought it was rather fortuitous that I ended up at the Lincoln birthplace on the anniversary of his assassination by John Wilkes Booth. He survived the night but passed away the following day, which would be April 15th, day being April 14th. So they were having as is shown in the pictures, a candlelit ceremony, a vigil tonight for President Lincoln. I presume they do that every year. Mammoth Cave National Park Visitor Center. Looks crowded. So all the tours were filled today. I was told if I come back to Mammoth Cave Park tomorrow at 8:30, they might have availability for a walk-in self-guided tour. Although there seemed to be some conflict of advice between a couple of different rangers I spoke to, so we'll see. They had a reservation available for sometime mid-afternoon, but I don't want to spend that much time here waiting for that. So I'll spend the 20-25 minutes to come back to the cave from my campsite tomorrow morning and see if that works. And if it doesn't, I'll just have to pass on actually getting into the caves.